I've been working with a friend of mine, Derek Martin. He and I both wanted to start a business together. We just couldn't figure out what to do. I had a Sunday afternoon cinema thing going, and I thought, well, maybe we could convert that into a full-time cinema, go year-round. So we went with that, and then thought, well, we need some way of publicizing it. What about a little newspaper? And the newspaper kind of took me over, and the cinema took Derek over. So those were both things had the same beginning.
So what did the Buzz look like 20 years ago, and how did you put it together?
Well, there was an interesting thing called desktop publishing back then, which allowed me and my little Mac with not much memory to actually create a newspaper digitally, and all by myself. And so I had someone say, well, buy this program, do this, and with a little guidance I was able to make a newspaper all on my own.
How many pages was it then?
Well, there were 8 pages in the first issue.
And was it full color, or?
There was color involved, yes.
And how did you distribute it back then?
Kind of the same way we do now. We put them in the car and we get around, and we ask people if we can leave them copies on their coffee shop counters and wherever they'll have them. We did the same thing then.
Now, did you ever think it would grow into what it is today?
I didn't have 20-year projection at the time.
Maybe 1 year, 2 years?
Well, like all small businesses, you have, like, I've got to get my first year in under my belt, so that was a great anniversary for us to reach. And then you got to get your 5 years and, just push it forward and go step by step, brick by brick. Really, I just want to move it ahead every time, every year.
Now, we were talking earlier and said 20 years ago, like, no cell phones, no Facebook, no anything compared to what there is today. So can you tell me the difference between what it was like trying to publish the Buzz 20 years ago and how it's changed over the years?
Well, you're right. 20 years ago, there were no websites, there were no cell phones, let alone smartphones. But there was a need to try to gather all this information together. There was an art scene, there was activity, there was stuff going on. So that was the purpose of the paper to begin with. So as technology changes, as all of these things change, we try to keep up with it. We invest a lot in our website. We have an app, we do the Facebook thing. But the core of it is just putting this monthly guide every month out in front of people so they can see what's going on and plan their month ahead.
What was it like to see that first edition be printed and distributing around PEI?
Well, I was pretty nervous about it, but I was happy.
Nervous? What do you mean?
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I sent away some sort of files to somebody who sent me back a bunch of newspapers on a truck. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to get back, and it didn't look as brilliant as I thought it should, because it's on newsprint instead of in my computer screen. But no, I was pretty happy with it, and then we started working on the second one, and we haven't missed one since.
Now, I've heard people say that the Buzz is indispensable to them. I'm just wondering, how do you think, whether you've helped the entertainment industry, or has it helped you, or was it both?
I think it's both things. I tell people I don't make this stuff up. This is actually going on. But I think that we matter. I think it does make a difference. I think that the more you know about it, the more you know what's possible. I think it has helped put people in the seats of these theaters. I think it's helped people connect. I think that's what we do.
Do you think there was that big of an industry like music and all entertainment industry back then, or has it really grown as the same size as your paper has really grown?
Oh, I think it's definitely grown. Certain sectors maybe more than others. The music especially has just exploded. But there always was theater, there always was art, there always was crafts. So what we're seeing now is sort of like the end of the generation that was active when I started, and now the next generation's coming along. So we're actually seeing the beginning of a whole new generation of all of the arts.
Over the 20 years, what do you think has been the toughest part?
Oh, I don't know. Chasing that guy who won't pay his bill is one that always comes to mind.
You mean that guy in the corner over there?
No, I got my eye on him. No, well, you just have to keep going, and it's stressful. And sometimes we've had once an issue showed up from the printer in the summer, 25,000 copies, that was wrong. Like,
What do you mean wrong?
4 pages were missing, which meant that all the other pages were out of sync. It was a total disaster, and here we are. This was earlier on, you know, a big deal for us, and we had to cope with that. We had to get them to print it again, and we had to, you know, so we had some stressful moments, but all in all, it's gone pretty good.
So how many pages is it now?
Well, this issue we just put out, which is the June 2013, 20 years exactly from June 93, has 84 pages.
Wow, so quite a big change.
Yeah, well, there's so much stuff going on. People know us now, so they send in their events, and the email just never stops. And now with the website, all of the notices come pouring in, and yeah.
And it's been a really family business too.
It has. I was the only employee for about 3 years, and then I persuaded my wife Nancy to come and join us, and that really helped a lot. And things got organized, and things really started to take off. And then 3 years after that, my son Yannick was at a loose end. I said, how about coming back? He wasn't on the island. Come back and join the team, and he's still with us. So definitely it's a family thing.
So how do you feel tonight? We're out here at the Trailside in Mount Stewart. The place is just about full. All these people are here to celebrate you and the Buzz.
Well, I'm really happy. It was the Trailside folks, Pat and Megan, who said, Peter, would you like to have a Buzz night? And they came up with the date of June 1st, which is, you know, the date, our anniversary date. And I thought, why not? I mean, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have some great island music. We're just going to have a good time.
What do you see next for the Buzz?
Next for the Buzz.
The next issue, probably.
Well,
Or do you see that for much further than that?
Well, no, I have to start working on the next issue pretty soon, on Monday. But I'm not sure. It's a transition. You know, the media's changing. My son's with me. Maybe he's got a future. We think about this a lot, but you know, it's a little vague. But it's starting to take shape. I think that we need to keep the Buzz going. I think that the generation that I represent want the Buzz until their dying day.
Now, I noticed that over the years you never really did any controversial type things, you know, like it's pretty straightforward entertainment and things, you know, to eat, things to see and stuff like that. Why not do, you know, like controversial restaurants that you shouldn't go to or something like that?
I wanted to be a booster. I wanted to be like the good news story. Tell people what's out there. Don't tell them what's wrong with what's going on. Tell them about what's really happening, all the good stuff. And that's been our goal from the beginning.
And it seems to have worked.
Well, thank you. I think it has.
Well, congratulations, Peter, and good luck on your next years in the Buzz.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Okay, I'll let you party now.
Thank you.
I've never been to Trailside before, so I thought it'd be a good time to start.
Are you here because of the Buzz celebration, or?
I'm here because of the Buzz celebration and because Pat's a really good fellow.
There were things that you were doing 20 years ago that you're still doing now. You're going to back alley music for your CDs and your albums. Of course, back then you had to actually go up a back alley to do so. It's the same thing. You can buy your wife flowers, or your husband or your mother from Allen and Hearts and Flowers. You can order some custom furniture from Joe McCaskill at McCaskill's Woodworking. You can get a fashion-forward hairdo from Picasso's. You can still do all these things 20 years later. You can eat at Cedars, at Papa Joe's, and Serenella's.
Peter, no commercials.
These are my best advertisers. And it occurs to me that 20 years ago, you even had Burger Love. You had to go at lunchtime to the Co-op on Queen Street.
Oh, yeah?
And they would fry you a burger and fried onions off the griddle right at the front cash as you checked out. Can you still smell that? But you couldn't go to Beans for a coffee. That was a few years away yet. You could go to Tim Hortons, of course. That's when they had an apostrophe back then. And if you wanted some live music, don't try going to Baba's. That'd be no good for you. You go to the Prince Edward Lounge, if you were brave. And you could go to the Old Dublin Pub if you were Irish. I think those were the choices we had. But there was a great art scene going on at the time. And Scott Parsons had just put out Jupiter Wise in 1993. Teresa Doyle had a new CD. Ray Peltier had a CD. There were artists, there were galleries, there were shows, there was craftspeople, theater people. You could go to Victoria Playhouse, of course, 20 years ago. You could go and see Anne of Green Gables 20 years ago, the musical. Or you could go and see Ankenstein. That's another good one, 20 years ago. But anyway, there had to be something, that's where the inspiration came from. There was all this stuff going on, but it's a little bit difficult to find out what was going on. There was some in The Guardian, there was some in CBC, but to try and get the total picture of what was up and coming was a little hard to do. 20 years ago, there were no websites. Of course, there were no smartphones because there were no cell phones 20 years ago. You might remember that. So no Facebook or Flickr or Flubber or Flipper. You just, what are you going to do? So I had this idea, there was one good thing that was happening, and that was this phenomenon called desktop publishing. So with a little Mac and a couple of programs, I could actually create a newspaper all by myself on my little computer. So I thought, why don't I do that? And so here we are today. So I have to talk about some people first, before we go into any more fun. In 1999, Yannick Richards had decided to give up his wandering ways, come back to Prince Edward Island, and we put him to work. And he's been there ever since. He is indispensable. He's taught himself everything he needs to know to do the job that he does. He looks after the website. It's great. Some of you Facebookers know him as Busby. It's him. Yannick, please. Please rise. As you know, the Buzz has a small number of staff, and this issue, where there were 84 pages, every word, every space between the words, every dot, dash, number, phone number, date, time, name, all the listings, all the notices, all the articles were put there by one person. All the buzzes that got delivered to Kings County and all the way to Summerside, that was done by just one person. And all our business, the invoicing, the bookkeeping, the office management, all the record keeping, all of that stuff is also done by just one person. And of course, that happens to be all the same person. And another part of that person's job description is managing me, which apparently is a 24/7 job. And
she needs a raise.
Sounds like a retirement plan to me.
And of course, I'm talking about the person without whom there would be no Buzz. My partner, Nancy Richards. Nancy, are you willing to stand up and wave for the crowd? And tonight, we've got some great fun. Later on, we're going to have Sweetheart Jim and the Brothers Grimm play for us, great musicians. They have a CD out recently. If you haven't heard it, you got to get it. It's really great. But they also have another side of their repertoire that they bring out for weddings and bar mitzvahs and our kind of event. And so we're going to hear some of that too. And they're going to clear a little room here on the dance floor because we're going to need it. And in the but now, I would really am pleased and really happy to introduce our first entertainers, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce all the way today from Halifax, by way of St. Andrews and Belfast, which is where he was born and grew up, and he's brought his father with him to play along. Please welcome Owen Dacom Steele.
All the way from, as you said, St. Andrews, New Brunswick. I currently live in Halifax, but I spent 11 years in Flat River. And they were very formative years. And I love the island a lot. And it's great to be here. Gotta plug this in, probably. Just gotta make sure we're comfortable up here. I played the Trailside back in October with my friend Mike Trask, and there was maybe 12 people here. So this is a big change, right? Alright. So every time I come home to visit Mom down in Flat River, the first thing I always do, like when I go to my dad's in St. Andrews, the first thing I do is go to the kitchen table and I check out all the new CDs kicking around the table, and I listen to them. The first thing I do when I get home to PI, and this is not just for the sake of the occasion, the first thing I do, if it's on the table, which it usually is I pick up the Buzz, and I look through it. So this is real cool to be invited to do this. I'm going to start out with a tune called Medicine, inspired by a hitchhiking trip from Dawson City to Peterborough, Ontario with my friend Nico. We'll avoid the story for this one. It's a little long. I've already used up about 10 minutes of my time. So. Medicine. Key line in this song is sometimes the best medicine is going where you have never been before. And it goes like this. What I see, what I see. What I see, what I see. Miles of road, 4 miles, take on flames, tattered backs over shoulders. Oh, at night that sleeping comes on quick. I hit the road like a horse's dick in the morning. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know me, you know me. You know me, you know me, yes. Sitting bent, feeling strange. In the city again, my man. Ba-ba-ba. Oh, taxi driver, policeman, taking him away, stopping what from happening. You guys hear that Washington bass okay? Suffering, I'm struggling. You don't smoke, where'd you get that coffee? If you're so happy, why don't you laugh? Oh, sometimes the best medicine is going where you have never been before. south is down. East and west, border the oceans, my man. Kiss the other on my debit card. We like to cook, we're learning how to dance, and we got lots of affection. When I take her on a date, we always get a plate of poutine thrown in our direction. Oh, it's the queen of protein. Protein, she loves protein. With a side of wine, Patsy Cline, a little bit of nicotine. It's quite a sight to see her take a bite to that mound of boiled potato from P.I. She craves the taste of gravy paste, but hates tomato ketchup. Woke up in the morning and she was snoring, her nose inside my ear. So I went to the kitchen, I turned on the radio, and what did I hear? What did I hear? It said, late last night, oh, citywide, the restaurants got wiped clean. A woman in a dress, didn't even know the rest, she was looking so routine. Oh, it's the queen, it's the queen of protein. Protein, she loves protein. With a side of wine, Patsy Cline, a little bit of nicotine. Oh, it's the queen of protein. Protein, she loves protein. Rest need a dozen, and then another one to make 13. Oh, it's the queen of protein. With a side of wine, get high on fries, and a little bit of nicotine. Queen is the queen of protein. Protein, she loves protein. Well, she'll eat a dozen, and then another one to make 13. That's a lot. Don't break that string. We're going to do a song that was originally written by a fellow named Victor Young in the 1930s around Hollywood, California. Originally written as an upbeat swing song called Sweet Sue. And we're going to slow it right down for all the lovers out there, which is everybody. The stars above are the one I love, sweet Sue. Baby, it's you. And I'm moon up high. It's the reason why soup. Baby, it's you. Never said say, shares my dream. Without you, dear, don't know what I do. Sway soup. Luna pie, it's the reason why I sway soup. It's you. It's heart of mine. Before I die, sway soup. Baby, it's you. Never said say, shares my dreams. Without you, I don't know what I would do. What I would do without you, dear, I do not know what I would do. Alright, we'll try this too. We gotta pick it up at 1, 2. I get so high in love that when I fall, it takes me years to come down. And I get so drunk on wine anymore, and I would surely drown. From the garden to the graveyard, the field into the horse barn, there seems so much to lose. One foot forward in the future, the other back in the past, with the time machine blues. I seem to forget most every dream I had. I wake up soaked in sweat, reaching out with my two hands. If the lines on my palm read the future like the dawn tells the coming of the light, then the lines on my palm also tell of what's gone, like the days that turn to night. Wait, wait, oh. Time goes slow. I seem to forget just every dream I had. I wake up soaked in sweat, reaching out with my two hands. My lover, she waters the plants in the window, makes life appear. Year after year after year after year after year after year after year after. Wait, wait. No. Time song that he sings, and I'm a season, I'm a clock, I'm always changing, I'm steady as a rock. There's no place like driving. No place like PEI to drive. Beautiful, beautiful back roads. Right after train station. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Belfast dance. Remember those Belfast days? I took the Garfield Road just off the Transcam. How about those Belfast days? No hockey game tonight, just some kids looking for a chance. No hockey game tonight, just some kids looking for a chance. Boy, Chocolate was a DJ, spinning hits from Magic 93. Know that station? Some of those kids were drinking. Like me, I'll just have something from the canteen. Just make me swamp water from the pop machine. I wasn't drinking, I was getting stoned. No, it's like grade 12, it's cool. So. Must be an iron thing for kids together in the ring and sing, sway and dance, change interest towards who they like. Just one night, walk hand in hand to Cooper's red and white, and return again, just in time to be driven home. Oh, I thought I saw a ghost, but Ireland is full of those, everybody knows that. I saw a ghost cross the road, but it's just the boy heading back to his abode. She's Morgan McPherson walking home. I tried to kiss that girl on the lips, but I got so nervous I completely missed. I put my own self in its place. I went to kiss her lips, but I completely missed her face. I went to kiss her lips, but I completely missed her face. Kelsey Moore is the name. Must be out back with a pack of smokes to take a drag. Hey, where'd you get those, man? I stole them from my dad. Tastes awful, but it might be the best time. Never had a day. And the wind brings on a chain. These kids are gone, but the memories remain. And the dancing lives on. I heard someone turned it into a song. I heard somebody turned it into a song. Thank you.
My name is Owen Steele from Flat River, PEI, currently living in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Jamie Steele, St. Andrews, New Brunswick.
In New Brunswick, okay. That was pretty good music tonight. Why'd you guys, how'd you end up here at the Trailside?
Just Peter sent me an email one day asking if I wanted to play, and I said yes. That's pretty much the long and short of it. I actually, there's more to that. Peter just told me that his wife saw Nancy. Yep. Nancy saw myself and my buddy Doug playing at the ECMAs a couple of years ago when it was here on PEI. She saw us at the back alley, and she liked it, and she told Peter about it and said, "You got to get these guys sometime." So 2 years later, here we are.
It wasn't coincidental then.
I guess not. No, I guess not.
Made to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Good show, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations,
Thanks for coming.
Peter.